Hello and welcome back to the channel. I have Bennett here. He just woke up from a nap, so he's munching on some crackers. He's gonna hang out with me. Hendrix is not here today. He is actually in Nevada with my mom. He's there for a week, so it's been a little bit weird not having him here. But I wanted to sit down and talk with you guys, just like a genuine sit down video of how we're doing. It's been, oh gosh, what is it? A little over 2 months. We got here May 1st. A lot has happened. We have a little bit of a better direction of what's gonna happen. Not quite, but I will get into that though. I did want to say thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. If you have followed our channel for a while, then you know just how much I advocate for better mental health, whether you are male or female. BetterHelp is an online, affordable, private counseling service that you can use from anywhere, whether it's via text, phone, or video. They offer services for individuals or couples, even teens. I know some people, including myself, can find it hard to find resources available, whether it be due to finances or maybe you don't have a supportive spouse or parental. BetterHelp has been proven to be just as effective as in-person sessions. Do you need some water? Yeah. The kids seriously fight over this. You need a drink? That better? Oh, that's cold, huh? You start by answering a few questions about yourself and maybe the challenges that you may be facing, and then from there you will be matched with a online licensed professional counselor. If you're not happy with the counselor that you've been matched with, you are welcome to change that at any time. They definitely want to focus on finding somebody that you are comfortable with. They can help with things like depression, anger, self-esteem, even relationship issues, or just mental health all around. They have a list of things that they can help with. The nice thing about BetterHelp is that you can use their services wherever you are, and I know that that is such a big thing because when you are struggling, it's hard to get out of bed. It's hard to even think about leaving your house, whether it's because of depression, anxiety. I know sometimes it's easier to open up when you are in the comfort of your own home, but maybe you're at work or you're out shopping or you're sitting in your car and you're just going through it. You can literally just pick up your phone and you have your counselor that knows, you know, what's going on to help walk you through that, which I think is absolutely incredible. BetterHelp has plans starting out at $40 a month, and they also have an option where you can apply for financial aid, which is amazing. I know counseling services can be so insanely expensive, and sometimes insurances don't cover that, so I feel like this is such a great option for those who really are looking for help but maybe can't afford it. I've always told you guys, if you need somebody to talk to, like, please just message me, catch me on Instagram. I'm very proud to be partnering with BetterHelp because I know that they can offer things further than I can. There are far too many lives lost, especially with men. I feel like there's that stigma of you have to be a tough guy all the time. You're not allowed to feel things. You're not allowed to cry. Emotions don't exist in men, and they do. Like, you're just as human as, you know, the woman across from you, and I feel like that needs to be talked about more. Men need to get help just as much as women. It's okay. BetterHelp does have testimonials listed on their website. You can read all the reviews. I also have a 10% off that will be applied when you click the link down below. 10% off for your first month. Know that you're not alone and that there is somebody out there to help. That is exactly what BetterHelp is there to do. We got a new box of Love Every toys. I'll have to show you guys when I vlog or something, but he's been loving this ball. Ball? Ball? Is it squishy? I'm not even really sure where I want to start with this video. I feel like there's so much that I want to talk about. Just in regards to each person, every single one of us has gone through something, whether it be good or bad. I guess I can start out with just the initial moving here. I obviously did the moving vlogs, and then as soon as we got here, I just stopped. My day-to-day routine has changed so much because obviously I had a whole house to look after, and now I have such a small area that like I'm so bored. I don't have much cooking to do, cleaning, or really anything, especially knowing that the town that we're in is like, I don't know, 25-30 minutes away from any of like the bigger cities where there's actually kind of some things to do or stores to shop. Like here we have Walmart and that's about it. Like we don't even have McDonald's right now. They tore that down. So that has just been so challenging. I mean, we don't even, like, we're so used to just having everything at the touch of a finger, even like DoorDash. We can't even DoorDash. You don't realize what is a luxury until you have that taken from you. But it also makes me sad because I'm struggling with YouTube. I've noticed like even my views are going down. I don't have any content. I've tried vlogging several times. I think the most like exciting thing that we've done was over Memorial weekend, and we went up to my family cabin, and I was gonna try to vlog, but I have way too much heaviness in me right now that it's hard to pick up the camera and pretend I'm okay. You gonna be a statue?
Yeah.
Go, Hendrix!
He took it back.
There you go. Good job.
I'm so close. I didn't make it.
Hi.
In it.
It's hard because YouTube is like the one thing that I wanted to keep going for myself. It's the one thing that makes me feel like me. It's the one thing I can use to look back on and to almost use as a journal. So it's like I'm trying my best to keep up with it because I know this isn't forever, and I know I'll want to look back on it just to see how far we've come. We've been here a little over 2 months and I'm still not fully comfortable here. I feel like I'm constantly on edge. Sadly, that has shown in my videos. As much as I want to hide that and try to be, happy and positive, there's just some things that you can't hide. I had one of you even comment on my video and you're like, you seem almost really irritable, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. I'll admit that. I told Kenny that the tables could really flip. I know his mental health was really bad, and that is why we decided together to make this decision. I'm really stuttering over my words today. Mental health is so important to me. I've mentioned that 1,000 times, and I wanted to see Kenny get better. He didn't know who he was anymore. He didn't feel himself. Our family, our relationship, everything was just really, really suffering, and I couldn't let that go on anymore, and so that is why we obviously made this change. So Kenny has since started a new job. We knew that as soon as we moved here. He already had a new job, which I thought was absolutely amazing. It's been a great opportunity, and he seems to really like his job. He's learning to broaden his skills in the mechanic area, which I think is great. He loves to be hands-on, so that's been good for him. But the biggest change that I have seen is that when he comes home, he's not just this big ball of negative energy. He's not angry. He's not upset. He can come home and be happy and enjoy the kids and enjoy us, which is huge, because before he would come home and just spew how much he hated his job, how bad of a day he had, and just work. That's all he would think about. That's all he would talk about, which is fine. Like, obviously I was there for him. That is the biggest change that I've seen, and I feel like that alone has really helped boost his confidence. You need another drink? Here you go. He has guaranteed days off, which is another really big thing. He would work 16-hour days, and he would go on with that for 2 weeks without a day off, and it would just completely drain him. Whereas now he has guaranteed weekends off. We can look forward to actually planning stuff and knowing that he's going to be home. He's not going to be called in. He's not going to have to cover for somebody. There has been a few times where he's stayed later, but to where he's hourly right now, he gets overtime, and so that's been kind of nice. Whereas before, he could work 80 hours in a week and get paid the exact same if he were to work 40 hours a week because he was salary. Bennett is a whole year old, and you know, he hasn't really gotten to have that bond with his dad because he hasn't been home. He's been working so much that it's just now that, you know, he's comfortable around dad. Like before, he would just cling to me. I couldn't leave the room. I couldn't go to the store because Bennett would just scream and cry. And now I can, you know, go shower. I can go do what I need to do, and he's comfortable with his dad. That's not to say that this move just fixed everything. We are still at a very low point. Our relationship itself, it's doing better. We're still communicating on the things we'd like to see happen, the things that we want from it, and you know, where we can be stronger. So we're doing better. We still argue, probably more than we should, but we're arguing less than we did, and the arguments are far less intense. I feel like I am filming this on a little bit of one of my brighter days. I'm a little bit happier. Yesterday, I was just a mess. I cried for several hours. So I feel like for me, things really fluctuate. I have really good days and I have really bad days. I'm not really sure what word I'm looking for. I can't think of it right now, but my heart is almost just very sensitive. Like I said, that's not the word that I'm looking for. Things seem to trigger me really easily, or they hurt far more than they should, and it's just because I'm still working on mending my own heart. Hi. So things are still far from perfect. It's just because something triggers me. It can be something as simple as, because we're in such a small area, which you guys will see, and the kids are arguing, they're fighting over toys. Hendrix wants to build his tracks, but I have nowhere else to put Bennett. There's just, you know, that conflict, or it's like I'm trying to reorganize this and it doesn't fit, and I can't get this mess cleaned up because I don't have a spot for it. It's like I just get so frustrated with it because it's like we had a whole apartment, we had all the space, the kids had their own room, their own bed, and I just get so angry about it. And it's like I don't want to be angry because I know that we made this decision together. I struggle working myself through that. So that has been my biggest challenge, is just trying to get myself to work through it instead of letting it linger and affect my entire day. Guess I should have closed that window, I'm sorry. Bennett is doing really well. It took him a long time to adjust. He was very clingy, would just cry, didn't want to be left alone. I mean, I don't leave him alone, but it's like I couldn't set him down and walk across the kitchen to go to the fridge or something. Like I had to be holding him at all times. He's getting so big, and he has, oh my gosh, how many teeth? 7 teeth now. He's walking on his own. He doesn't need that little zebra anymore, so he's just getting so big. As for Hendrix, he definitely has had his own struggles, and you know, some of those I won't go into just because not everything needs to be shared. He obviously struggles. He misses his own space. He expresses to me how much he wants to go home. So like he doesn't fully understand, you know, why we moved or that we don't have that home anymore. I think as a parent, that's kind of when things become hard, is when you try to take things down to their level for them to have a better understanding. And it's just, how do you explain that? You know what I mean? How do you explain that? Why we're living here? You know, I try to be pretty open and like transparent, but it's hard sometimes. But hearing the words that he wants to go home or he wants to go back to mom's house, it just breaks me, because it's like I want to be out of our situation so bad. I want our own home. I want our own space. You know, this isn't fair to the kids, and it's hard. It's a hard place to be in. Something I was really worried about was, I knew Hendrix was allergic to dogs. I didn't know the full extent of it. You know, we kind of had to figure that out as we got here, but within hours of being here, you know, he had the itchy, watery eyes, the cough, the mucus, like, and it just progressively got worse. I tried Claritin every single day, Benadryl, Flonase, like I tried all of these things, and it just turned into me taking him to the ER after probably 2 or 3 weeks, because he got to the point that like his chest was slowly closing up more and more each day, that he was coughing to the point of puking, and I I couldn't take it anymore, and so I was like, I gotta take him to the ER. There's gotta be something they can do. They took an x-ray just to rule out, you know, any sickness. That came clear, and they gave him steroids. What else did they do? A breathing treatment. I think that was like really my breaking point of like, I want out of this situation now. I can't let my kids live like this. It's not fair. Hendrix is so sick. Like, I think that steroid lasted in him for probably 3 or 4 days, and by probably like a week and a half after our original ER trip, I was right back in the ER for the exact same thing. This time they gave him a different steroid, and he didn't really want to take it. I tried talking him into it, and he just wasn't having it. Like, the doctor was so sweet, or the nurse. She was like, let's go pick out a treat. They brought in some like local donuts, and so he got to pick out a donut, and after he had his steroid, he could have it, but that just wasn't for him. So they called another doctor over to hold him down and hold his mouth open, and I have Bennett crying, and like, it was just so traumatic. He ended up throwing up the steroid, and I think it's just because he was so worked up, which I wasn't really happy about that situation. They ended up having to give him a shot. Such a trooper. They did a couple breathing treatments, and he seems to be doing okay since then. We haven't had to do, no, I guess we've had to do a few breathing treatments since then, but they also prescribed him like a medication that he takes every day. I have him on vitamins now, and just anything to help boost his immune system. It's just been so hard to watch, and I can only imagine through his eyes. He doesn't understand why he's sick, or like he tells me like, Mom, I don't like Grandma's house because it makes me sick. As a parent, like, it literally shatters you because you don't like seeing your child hurt. We knew that there was like a housing shortage, but we didn't know the extent of it. When we lived in Idaho previously, really all they looked for was that you had good rental history. And if you didn't have any rental history, well, you just got a cosigner, or you had like 3 references and you were good to go. Well, here we are 3 years later, and you have all these people from California moving to Idaho, and the regulations for that have changed to rent. A lot of places are looking for you to have a minimum credit score of 700, and the area that we are in, that is almost impossible. The average person here, like, this isn't some big city where you have a lot of luxury things and people are rich. It's just your average place, you know what I mean? You have the average job that pays $9 an hour. You're kind of struggling to get by, but like, you can still pay your rent. A lot of people are on state assistance, which I think is fine. If you need it, you need it. But you know, you have these people coming from California, and you know, now rent is going up. You want almost $2,000 a month for just your most basic run-down apartment. A lot of people are becoming homeless, or they're like us and have to live with family because they can't afford that. Jobs here don't pay for you to live like that. Our credit is not that good at all. You know, I was kind of screwed over from Hendrix's dad. That's how I had to live. That's how I had to pay for Hendrix's needs, my needs, or family trips, or you know, Christmas. Like, that is how I paid for those things. My credit is just something that kind of got way out of control, and I've never been able to pay it back. So it's like I've had these fees just accumulating, and some that have just been charged off, they've been closed, and just my credit is a mess. So I can't get approved for anything. Kenny, his credit is okay, but it's not enough for us to get approved anywhere. Our credit is a really big setback, and it was something we weren't prepared for. We didn't know that that was a thing until we were already here. If we had known that, we probably would have figured something out in Utah, went month to month, or you know, we would have done something a little bit differently had we known this. We were on such like a time crunch that we just didn't really get to exhaust every option that we had. And these checks or whatever we're putting away so that we can fix our credit. You know, same with sponsorships that I'm taking on. I'm putting that money away so we can fix our credit. So another kind of setback that we had is that Kenny obviously needs tools for his job, so he needed to get like a toolbox and tools, you know, things like that. to go in his bay. That was kind of costly, but it was also something that obviously needed done. So we're kind of trying to work our savings back up. So we have had quite a few setbacks and it's been really hard. You know, I have a feeling we're gonna be here for a good solid few more months. That is kind of where we're at right now. It's just we need to repair our credit before we can even take the next step. If I am being completely transparent, I obviously want to get us out of here as quick as possible, you know, for Hendrix's health, my mental health, for even our relationship. Things, like I said, just because we moved didn't make everything just perfect. You know, there are days where I'm really scared that we won't make it out of this, or that, you know, because Kenny and I aren't doing so well together relationship wise. Like, I know we still love each other. Like, this is so complicated to talk about, but I know we still love each other and we're working on it and we're doing better about communicating with things and understanding each other. But it's like, there are days where I struggle and I'm like, what if we just don't make it out of this? Like, how scary is that to think? Kenny and I love each other and that we will fight for each other because we love each other. You know, it's not just for the kids, it's not because of our situation, it's because we love each other and, you know, we want to be together forever. And that is what you do. And granted, we're not legally married, but, you know, when you are married, that's what you do, is you fight for each other. This just kind of gives you a little bit of where we're at right now and why we're gonna be here for a while. We'll get there. This isn't forever. I have to remind myself that all of the time. You know, we'll be okay. We will be okay. I think I'm gonna end that here now that I've, you know, talked your ear off. Thank you again for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. You know, before you forget, definitely check them out. Don't be afraid to get the help that you need. It is so important. I will talk to you guys in our next video. Bye.